beautiful ones. How are you today? I hope you're doing fine. Soon December, soon the holidays. How are you doing? Are you excited about that? Or it's like, depends. Everybody has a different opinion around that. But welcome everyone. Let me know who's there in the chat. Let me know who's there, who's present. And if you're watching as a replay, or if you're watching the replay, feel free to to just say hello. And if you have questions during this this conversation, I will be so happy to answer them. We have Natasha here. Wonderful, beautiful. Thank you for being here. I know it's getting later for you there where you are. So before we start, today the conversation is a really, hello, beautiful Melinda. Yes. Today is a conversation that definitely would require more than the time we have today. That's why I have created a masterclass around this. And I call it a masterclass right now, but it is not a masterclass. It is actually an experience. It will be a full, complete channeled activation around the topics today because there's too much we can share today, and the activation itself will be completely channeled. So it's something you will feel, something you will integrate, something you will feel in your body, and you will be able to actively play with and use in your everyday life. Today is more the intellectual aspect of this. So I'm happy you're all here. I hope people find me. Sometimes I know people try to find me, but know that every time you come in the group, you will find me. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, I try to post stuff as much as I can on YouTube because I know some people don't want to be on Facebook, but I just want to tell you right away that the Abundant and Leading Lightworker group on Facebook is where you will find the most content. If you go back in time, you'll find like at least over 100 activations and conversations, and they're all in a section under guides. So it's easy for you to go back and see and just play whatever topic is it resonates with you. Today, we're talking about timeline shifts and interdimensional travels and the actual energies. Usually, I don't say it's my mission to talk about actual energies, but they're more than activating, they're more than stimulating, they're more than triggering. So they have warned me. When they say they, it's my higher self. Of course, my higher self knows my mission. So it kind of told me that, pretty much 2 or 3 months ago, that whatever's coming up is going to be highly activating. And now we're right in. That's why I talk about that quite more often than usual. It's the first time, if it is the first time you're joining us and you're new to this group, welcome. I didn't have much time to write a welcoming message, so I'm sorry, but welcome. Welcome right now. And please tell us more about you here or in the group. I would like really to know what you're experiencing, what you're looking for. It's important also for me to know what you guys need in the group. So this group, if you are joining in the Abundant and Leading Lightworker group on Facebook, is really to support you during your awakening process as a highly intuitive being called a light worker. So the most difficult part of the mission as a light worker is to remember who you are, what you're here to do, what you're here to express, whom you're supposed to help, or you're supposed to heal yourself, and pretty much remember that you're a multidimensional being. That is my role as a light worker mentor, as a channeler. But this group specifically will is actually the container I have created to help you flow in that energy of awakening. So who's there? I know some people are joining. Let me know who's there, whether you're in on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know. Today, I have a lot of things to say. Well, maybe I should, hello there. Who's there? I have a there, but I don't know who's there. Who's there here? So I forgot to introduce myself. If you're here for the first time, I pretty much said, yes, I'm a multidimensional channeler, and I help light workers and intuitives really rise into their highest potential so they can understand what their mission is. And that's all I do, really supporting you from A to Z until you realize, that's it, I know what I'm here to do, I'm free. That's the beauty of things. So we will start with an opening meditation. We always start this way. And right away, we will shift right into the topic of the day. I don't know who's there, but nice to be here. Who's here? Let me know. Put your names at the end of your comments if you don't mind, because I'm using StreamYard, and StreamYard is a software that requires your authorization to use your name. It doesn't take long, but it needs to be done, and it doesn't have to be today. But if not, let me know. I would love to know who you are. Today we're talking again about timeline shifts, and it is massively happening right now. I will tell you and share with you what it means, why it is important to be aware of it. Petra, beautiful Petra, my beautiful friend, thank you so much for being here. And I know it's late for you too in France. And we will talk about multidimensional travels, because you can shift, and you're probably doing it. And it's kind of important to know when you're shifting from one dimension to another. And I will tell you why it is important. But let's start with the opening activation so you can really integrate whatever I will share with you today. Some will resonate, some won't. Some information will be new. Hello, Mary Ann. I'm really happy to see you here. Thank you for being here. And some information will be totally new. Some will be like, I know that. But even if you think you know that, let it anchor itself through you so it can activate something that is dormant within you. Remember, whatever we do, even though it seems that we're sharing intellectual information, is meant to activate you to your next level of intuitive empowerment. And at the end of this wonderful conversation, I will talk to you about an upcoming masterclass. I have completely shifted my program because of what is happening to me right now. I cannot go as planned. I need to tell you what is happening in my reality, so I take you with me. And it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's really a good experience, even though it started with something unpleasant, and sometimes it is still, but that's my experience. It doesn't mean that you need to go through this. But what comes out of this is that we are really entering this phase of multidimensional traveling. Bonjour, Dicris. People from Montreal. Do we have other people from Eastern Canada or Eastern US? Yes, magical times. Yeah, and during those magical times, there's always more stuff happening. So we can say magical times, but you'll realize that it's getting more magical by the day. All right, let's close our eyes right now. And if you're seated, make sure your feet are touching the ground and your back is supported. If you're lying down, that's all good. But if we have a choice, seated is the best position. So let's do this. So take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth until no more breath. Feel that you're emptying your lungs completely. And every time you exhale, you're pretty much getting rid of tensions, outdated feelings, outdated patterns, thinkings, mindsets, beliefs. It's really a purging, breathing experience. So let's do this for 3 more breathing cycles. Perfect. So use your powerful imagination to create images in your mind. And remember, it doesn't matter how you see things, doesn't matter how you feel things. You're opening yourself up to an experience, to a multidimensional experience, which means that you will hear words, but you will also feel the energetic component held within the sentences, held within the subject, the information. Even when I'll share my experience, bits and pieces of that experience will trigger some kind of awareness, some kind of understanding that potentially something similar is happening to you. So feel yourself surrounded by a beautiful golden light, as if you were in a beautiful bubble of golden energy, and that energy is all around you. And every time you breathe in, you feel that golden energy entering your nose, going down, filling up your lungs, and traveling through your whole body. And if within your body there's some kind of tension, whether it's generated by a thought, a pattern, or a situation you have experienced, or just physical tension in your body, well, just see and feel that this golden light will alleviate any kind of dissonance, any kind of unbalance in your being, so you can receive today's teachings from an open heart perspective, where your mind is peacefully observing your whole being upgrading itself to a new awakening, to a new path to remembering who you are and what you already know. Let's wait another 30 seconds to allow, or to give enough time for everyone to see the gold around, but also within, from your head down to your toes. You're just vibrating gold, breathing gold, thinking gold, feeling gold. Beautiful. So just know that right now you're connected to your higher self, and everything that will be said and shared that is meant to activate something within you, just know that your higher self will be there, and just like this will activate this new knowledge, this new awareness. So when you're ready, you can open your eyes and let's dive into that topic. Along the way, please feel free to ask your questions. There's a lot of information. It is impossible for me to share everything, but it will be enough to trigger you in a way that you'll know whether you want to join the masterclass. The masterclass is happening next Wednesday, so that will be December 7 at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is 10 p.m. UK, which is 11 p.m. in France. And I'll get you all the details. I'll give you all the details. So I will start first with talking about timeline shifts. So it's not something new. As a light worker, as an intuitive, as a human being, you are going through different timelines. A timeline is a path you're on, a path that has a specific trajectory based on the decisions you make, based on the decisions and actions you don't make, and you're always shifting. So when you think you're on one timeline and you stay on that timeline, that is impossible. Every time you decide to take actions, to move forward, to not move, you are making a choice that will move you onto another timeline, keep you on the same timeline, or actually these are the only two options. And when you hesitate, you find yourself at a fork, and that fork makes you feel like things are evolving very slowly. This fork where you hesitate between making a choice or staying where you're at, what you're doing, or where you are, is usually a phase where you feel very slow, where things don't work very well, where things are unfolding very slowly. Whatever you do doesn't seem to unlock as rapidly as hoped. So that is an indication. What I'm telling you right now is just to help you identify where you are on your timeline. And that's a question I'm asking you. Do you know where you are on the timeline right now? I'm not asking you exactly on which timeline you are, because there's unlimited versions of yourself doing different things as who you are right now. But again, do you feel that you're on the same timeline and have been on the same timeline for a while? Meaning living the same kind of energies, nothing new, it's just the same, nothing wrong, nothing bad, nothing good. It's just a fact of what it is. Okay. Or do you feel you're shifting onto another timeline? Or do you feel that you just shifted recently onto another timeline? How do you know? Well, the energies are different. Your level of motivation is different. You attract different people, different circumstances, different experiences. You know you're on a different timeline. How do you know you're at the fork? You know you're at the fork when you hesitate. You know you're at the fork where things are very slow and whatever you do doesn't seem to activate anything. Yes, I don't know who you are, but I'm at the fork about to step into a new. Wonderful. So in order for you to be into the new timeline, you need to take actions, whatever it is. Even if you shift like timelines 10 times a day, and yes, it is possible. It is really possible. Melinda, thank you. Yeah. So timelines or you can create your timelines. You can totally create your timelines. How do you create a timeline? How do you shift from one timeline to another? Just simply by making a decision. If you're not sure about what decision or what action you should take, and it works on anything, whatever blocks you, if you're blocked. If you're not blocked, then you're on the right timeline right now. No need to question anything. But if you feel that it's not happening and it's not as flowing as you would want, then you know it's time for you to take an action. And by changing the timeline, you will be realizing that everything is flowing a lot better. I'm just reading what your guys are writing. Things shifted for me recently after many months of stagnation, flowing more easily. So you, Natalie, you're just expressing pretty much how it feels when you change timeline. But again, sometimes the universe will force you to change timeline if you resist the change or if you stay too long in the fork. That's what happened to me. I didn't even know. I didn't know I was stagnant. I knew I had to change, and I thought every action I was doing was changing or moving me to the next timeline. But what happened to me specifically is that the actions that I was taking was just shifting me to a very, very similar timeline from the one I was originally. So it was okay because I was taking actions, but for some reasons I wasn't aware of, and I'm still working on. My higher self said, whatever you do is not resonating with your soul purpose at this point. So we will rock your boat. We will really move you so you make actions, you take actions. So that's what is happening right now. So sometimes you think you're doing the right actions, but your soul purpose is leading you to another timeline that is more aligned with your soul purpose, with your mission. So sometimes the universe will do that for you. Natasha, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Nastasia. Natasha, yes, on the same timeline for a long time, but want to shift. You're shifting because I know I'm working with you. So I know you're shifting. You're not even in the fork, Natasha. Again, when I channel with my students, I can tell them where they are on the timeline. So Natasha, you're not even on the fork. You're already on the new timeline. But it doesn't mean that being on the new timeline is the timeline you will stay on for a long time. All right? You can change timeline with like many times within a week. So it's probably what you feel. right now, Natasha. You probably feel that you have shifted on a new timeline, and still it's not the ideal timeline for the energy you're able to work with. It's like you have the potential you have within you, energetically speaking, and the mental, the ego sometimes is refraining you because you're scared of being out there, because you're scared to try new things. You're scared to say to the world you're a light worker and you're meant to share your powers. It takes a lot of courage to do this. So every time you take an action, you're shifting on another timeline that maybe from your higher self's perspective, it's not enough. Come on, you can do better. This is the best timeline waiting for you, available for you. So let's push you a little bit. So if you feel you're on a new timeline and it doesn't flow as agreeably as you would want to, it means there's a better timeline waiting for you. All right, so Facebook user, I definitely made a huge shift. Yes, yet I feel stuck again. So Petra, same comment that I made for Natasha. Battling to connect to direction of my work. Who I do isn't connecting with you anymore. Petra, you are like fork. You're on the fork here. You're on the fork. But from what I sense right now is that you feel such a calling, like you're it's like it won't take long. It won't take long. And Petra, you helped me a lot with my cat and helping me understand what was happening. I can tell you that just what you did and the connection moved you to another timeline. There's something that happened for anyone who connected with my cat. I know it sounds weird, but it is. Maybe it's something I could talk about that, but there's a lot of animals and people who are entering your life, disappearing, reappearing, that are meant to really shift you to another timeline, to the most available timeline. It doesn't mean, hello Giselle, it doesn't mean that the travel is done. Okay. Paul says, I had a lot of spiritual concepts, ideas that played out in my head this morning, all morning. Well, I hope that today's conversation is taking you away from the concepts and can help you enter the shift you're entering in. Yes, I'm happy you're live. Giselle says, I'm stepping into my purpose, bringing into fruition the plan of my greater service. Yeah. Yes, definitely. And even if you know your soul purpose, you will shift timelines like, I don't know, like you take a shower. It's that frequent. Okay, crossroads. I explained that the importance of envisioning your ideal timeline. So sometimes life will push you to your next ideal timeline because your higher self believes you're too slow. It's not to hurt you, even though in order to get you to your most potential timeline, it might use situations that are a little bit uncomfortable. That is for your highest good. And because of the actual energies right now, it is the ideal time to make those shifts and to take the actions you have been like delaying for so long. It's that crazy. And I can tell you right now that one tiny little step, whatever it is for you, calling clients, building your website, offering a new service, investigating new abilities, just that little step will move you a lot further than if you had taken that step 2 years ago, a year ago, 5 months ago. It's that quick. So actually it's great because less efforts will take you further. And you will receive a lot of guidance around that. So the importance of envisioning your ideal timeline is that you are bringing to you what you wish. So if you don't know what you want, just ask for clarity. Just close your eyes and see yourself on a timeline in a reality where everything's clear. Even if you don't know what will be clarity for you, even if you don't know what your next step is, just envisioning. And that's what we'll do in the masterclass. I call it masterclass. No, Natalie, it's not a masterclass. It is a channeled activation. We will help you see what your next ideal timeline is for you to understand what are the actions you need to take to get there. Okay, so it's coming up. I've changed everything. It's coming up next Wednesday. All the details will come up, and I will talk about that at the end of this conversation. So when you envision at least feeling clear, if you're not, you're already telling your higher self, I'm ready to shift, and send me the information. Send me what I have to do. After, it is up to you to get up and follow the visions, even if it's uncomfortable. Now, if you sense what would be the best outcome for you, what would be the ideal timeline for you, close your eyes and envision yourself there. Envision yourself being clear, empowered, authentic with yourself, aligned with your soul purpose, highly intuitive, flowing with present energies, and everything flows beautifully. By doing so, you're already telling your higher self, this is where I want to be. This is where I am. This is where I want to be. Show me the in-between. Show me how to get there. And you will get information. You will get guidance around that. What happens once you receive the guidance? It's just how you're going to transmute the guidance, the visions, the sensations into clear, concrete 3D actions. If you do not do that, it will be very hard for your higher self to bring you to your potential timeline or to your highest timeline. And if it's meant to be your timeline, because remember, you're light workers, the world needs you. So if you're like, like waiting or delaying because scared, that's why I asked a question. I know it's not a very popular question, and there will be a masterclass around that, as people have a tendency to, again, disregard the emotional work that has to be done, even as a light worker. But, and I forgot what I wanted to say. Let me go back to my thought. Yeah, if you are delaying the moment to take actions, then the universe or your higher self will move you there. I said that you are light workers. You have a mission. And I'm telling you right now, more than ever, I know you hear that every year from any kind of spiritual leader, the world needs you. But now, if you don't listen to the call and you're in, but you're just hesitating, they will push you even more because they need you. And when I say they, it's all the light beings, the energies that are working with us right now to shift whatever is outdated with this planet. Gaia's doing its work. Gaia's completely transmuting the energies. And yes, you will see the skies and the earth and the oceans do a lot of weird stuff in order to recalibrate itself. That's Gaia doing its thing. I know it has been happening regularly, but right now it will be like one after the other, probably until January. We'll see. We'll see. That's what they told me. Everything can shift. All we need is more people being actively doing their stuff as light workers. So Gaia and humanity jumps on into another timeline, and suddenly everything resolves a lot quicker. Or if we don't do our job, well, it might take longer. And then it means more difficult times, more heavy energy, and blah, blah, blah. So not only do you work on your own timeline, but every time you hear the calling and you do whatever you need to do in order to align yourself with your mission, every time you're also helping Gaia and the collective, all humans, to shift onto another timeline. And the more we shift to an elevated, upgraded timeline, the more we raise our frequency and the higher we go into dimensions. So Earth is everywhere. There's an Earth in the third dimension. There's an Earth in the fourth and the fifth and on. And if you listen to me right now, you're probably in the fourth, but it doesn't mean that you don't enter the fifth and the third. That's another conversation I wanted to have a little bit later, but everything intersects. It's hard to talk about timelines without talking about dimensions and vice versa. Because when you change timeline, you can also upgrade yourself in dimensions. And if you raise your frequency so that you reach another dimension, which means more intuitive abilities, more visions, then you automatically alter the timeline you're on. You jump onto another one. So they're really intrinsically connected. So it is important to take actions. By taking actions, you are not fighting with life and elements and everything, but you need to really also master your emotions, be clear with your emotion, listen to them, and heal whatever needs to heal. It's what will make taking actions a lot easier. If not, you will face all your fears and you won't be reaching your ideal timeline. So that's why when I work with my students, it's always the same thing. You need to see, okay, what are the blocks? Karmic, emotional, ancestral, childhood. Let's look at them. So we can get clear around your soul purpose. You can get clear around your soul purpose, and we align you with your ideal timeline. So everything flows and you just grow very intuitively, very flowingly, if that word exists. Flowingly. Does it exist? Can somebody confirm? Now, energies around you, energies that are surrounding you are as important as visualizing your ideal timeline. So it means that you close your eyes, you visualize your ideal timeline where everything's happening, abundance is like accessible on all levels. Health, relationship, intuitive empowerment, money, whatever. So you see yourself, you see how to get there, you see so much how it feels that your higher self will do everything to align you with your ideal timeline. If it's not a timeline that is meant to really help in your soul purpose, it might not happen as quickly as you want. Let's say you're a light worker, you're meant to help people, but right now you're really obsessed with making money. But your higher self says, yeah, money will come, but first develop your intuitive powers. No, I want money right now. Yeah, but come on, you need to develop your intuitive power so people can know who you are, so they can work with you. Then the money will come. That's an example. So if you close your eyes and you focus on money, and you see yourself being rich, you see yourself, that is good. That is perfect. Chances are that it will happen. But you need to also remember what your soul purpose is. Because if money is not the first thing you need to attain, then everything will be delayed again and everything will be sluggish and slow. So go with self-healing. Heal yourself first. Work on this. Develop your intuitive powers. Get clear around your soul purpose. Make that a priority. See yourself attaining this, and then abundance will flow. You can add abundance, like you're creating your own recipe. But when you see and understand your soul purpose, and when you you see yourself really empowered in what you're meant to be doing here, and you have fun doing it, then it's easy to add abundance, joy, health into all this, because you're aligning yourself already to receive this, because you are doing what you're meant to be doing. But it is important that you surround yourself with energies, and that means people, places, environments, containers that will support this. So let's say you close your eyes and you visualize the best timeline for yourself in alignment. Who said you made it? Hey, who's there? So if you're aligning yourself, you know what your soul purpose is, your soul mission, and you visualize it, you feel it, it's there, it's encoded. Your higher self, yes, perfect, that's good. You're ready to take actions to do this. But every time you come home, it's heavy. Or you are surrounded by people who don't believe in you, blah, blah, blah. It can happen. There's things that it's hard to change. If there are things, hello, Willow, happy to see you here. I'm sure you will enjoy the topic. If you do your best, but every time you come home or you go to work, it's dense, heavy. It can alter your ability to really jump onto your ideal timeline. Yeah, you can slow it down. You can definitely slow it down. So it is important. It's true that it's not hard to, I'm definitely not telling you quit your job, let go of your relationships and move on in an island where everything is peaceful and beautiful. It's most of the time not always accessible. But if it's difficult at home or at work, make sure that every day you connect to a group, a place, to people that will uplift your vibration with conversations, with meditations. It is crucial because visualizing your ideal self in your ideal timeline, clear and authentic, can be polluted, can be completely blocked if your everyday life holds energies that are not agreeable and that are not supporting you. So it is very, very important. External energies, even if you cannot control all of them, make sure that at least you compensate the unpleasant energies with energies that are higher. So you bring yourself back to a balance until the bad energies can go away. Higher self essence. You see, it's a lot of topic and I'm far from being finished. I don't think I'll have the time to talk much about the actual energies. I'll see if I can make another talk, but you can be sure I will talk about that in the masterclass. So mark your calendar again, December 7 next week, Wednesday, same time, 2 p.m. No, not true, not same time, 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern time. So higher self essence. Your higher self is your GPS. Your higher self is the guide that shows you everything. Sometimes you feel that you're connecting to angels and archangels, and that is true, but you can call upon them because you want to work with a certain frequency. But I can tell you that the first light energy, high vibrational energy you will enter in contact with before any other being, it's your higher self. Without your higher self, you can't. Everybody's connected to the higher self. So the higher self is you vibrating at a higher frequency, but it's you also. There's a difference between the soul and the higher self. Like right now, you see Natalie, she has a soul. When I die, my soul leaves my body and goes back. I don't know why I show up, but goes back and merges again with my higher self. So the higher self is a part of source that wants to experience something unique. So my higher self, your higher self, is just a little particle that comes out from source. And the higher self says, that would be nice to live a life as a light worker mentor. So let's incarnate in Natalie. But that would be so nice to be a witch also in 1876 somewhere in Salem. Let's do that too. Oh, but it would be so great to live in 2045 as a spiritual leader, as a doctor. So your higher self also divides itself into souls. And those souls are connected to a time and a location, a time in the past, parallel lives, time in the future, your avatar in the future, other planets. So it means that you are also vibrating in different times, different locations, everywhere. It's important to know that because every time you are aligning with your true purpose, you're also helping your avatars, so the other souls are connected to you, to evolve. So, when we say we're all one, but this is what it is. It's like I work on myself, I align myself, I take actions, bang, suddenly other people are doing better. Why? because chances are we're all from the same higher self. So there's probably thousands and thousands and thousands of souls, beings, who are coming from one single higher self. So when I say I'm connecting to my higher self, I should say I'm connecting to our higher self. It doesn't mean that your higher self is connected to mine, but who knows? The fact that we're interacting together, that we feel we are sharing the same vibration, who knows? You see? So knowing that you are experiencing one timeline, you can shift many timelines, but other aspects of your higher self has decided to live different lives on in different times, on different timelines, is also affecting you. So sometimes when you say, oh, I'm doing a past life regression, you're just going back to source, and source is telling you, why don't I show her a life that will resonate with her, because it will activate her. But in the end, you're connected to that past life because you share the same higher self. You may meet people outside. Could be friends, it could be colleagues, it could be partners. And then you realize, oh my God, we understand each other so much. Chances are you share the same higher self. You could watch somebody on TV and you realize, oh my God, what you tell me really speaks to me. And you follow them for a long time because their words resonate so much with you. So some people will call that, spirit family, but let's use words that are clear and make the whole concept easy, because it's not that complicated, really not. So when you think that you connect to somebody, whether you will ever meet that person or not, or you read a book about somebody who lived in 1596 and you say, oh my God, your story is my story, even though it happened 400 years ago or more. It's like, maybe it's your higher self telling you, well, a part of you, a part of us is living this experience. You see? So it is important to know what your higher self's role is, because you are being guided by it. You receive the guidance by it, and it will help you shift timelines, connect to other times, and it is so important. Now, interdimensional travels is deeply connected with timeline travels. So whenever you visualize and do everything that you need to do in order to jump to the best ideal timeline, meaning the best journey in this life, as a light worker, or even if you're not a light worker, chances are that you are also raising your vibration, because you're getting closer and closer to the goal. You're getting closer and closer to your mission. You're not deviating. You're like really aligning more and more. So energetically, you're definitely raising your vibration, which will probably help you enter other dimensions. So some people will say, I'm in the 3D, I'm in the 4D, I'm in the 5D. Chances are you're traveling between dimensions. If you're very anxious, very sad, very upset, you probably take yourself back into a third dimension. Most of us right now as light workers are in fourth dimension, meaning that we still have work to do, connected to very dense energies, but we are really entering the fifth dimension, and we're starting to see things, feel things, develop telepathic and metaphysical, or I shouldn't say that, but more sixth sensory abilities. Fifth dimension is not available to this timeline right now. The timeline you're on the timeline, but you also belong to the humanity's timeline. So if you raise your vibration and you do all the work, you might just disappear to another timeline, and you might say, well, I don't need Natalie anymore. I don't need her teachings and blah, blah, blah. And suddenly I'm not in your reality anymore. Could be a choice, but it could also be B. Suddenly, that's it. We're not intertwined anymore. We're not connected anymore. So how do you know? I'll be honest with you. Every time you take an action, every time you work on yourself, you are entering. I call that interdimensional. I call that, interdimensional incursion. meaning that you're in and out of different vibrations. This is how, things are evolving. And when you channel, you obviously take yourself a lot higher than a fifth dimensional experience. So when things happen and you're shifting, and that is what is happening right now to most light workers, you will stay a little bit longer in those dimensions, those higher dimensions, and you will stay there without having even to channel. You will be like in your consciousness, everyday consciousness, doing whatever you're meant to be doing, and suddenly you will feel like something is different. How do you know you're traveling through dimensions? Well, if you're not channeling, meaning that you don't see things with your eyes closed, but you really are moving into the world, you will know that because time is moving differently. Things are getting faster or slower, meaning you talk, you do something, and you feel that 5 minutes have passed and it's an hour, or vice versa. You thought that you spent an hour and it's in fact 5 minutes. That is a sign that you have jumped onto another dimension, even if it's only for a short period of time. In your actions, it takes you faster to go with your car from point A and point B. Normally it takes you 30 minutes. You got there in 15 minutes. What happened? Interdimensional travel. You have had an incursion into another dimension. Does it mean that you have raised your frequency? Yes, but sometimes people don't even know what it means to be a light worker will experience this. Sometimes it is because you are really elevating your frequency, but other times it is because the world or your higher self, I say the universe, the world, but everything is triggered by your higher self. Your higher self wants you to open your eyes and say, look, do you see that something is mutating here? Do you see that you're really shifting into something else? It's, if let's say you're not an awakened being and you have no clue, and I know it's not your case there, but you have no clue of what your purpose is, and you don't know you're a light worker, then it's to open your eyes. It's really to open your eyes. So things are happening slower or faster. That is a sign that you are not only playing with time, but you are entering the fifth dimension. The fourth, fifth, it's hard to say, but usually the time does not exist in the fifth dimension. You can be there everywhere, whenever you want. You're always in the present moment. So whenever you see that there's a constriction or an expansion of time, you know that you're already in the fifth dimension. So when that happens, instead of saying, oh, why? Well, why don't you take advantage of that, unless you're driving. But let's say you're walking and you realize that, oh, time is flowing differently. It's time to connect to your higher self and say, okay, download, show me, channel as much as you can, because you will receive a ton more clarity and information when you are in this kind of interdimensional traveling zone. And unless you're a very highly illuminated person, you won't stay in 5D for a super long time. You can, but I mean, I'm pretty sure people who I attract, who are working with me, we're not there yet. And I include myself there. How do you know you're in another dimension? That is something that happened to me while I was looking for my cat. I will use this example for a long time, and it's really not a small event. It's really an activating event for me. And there was a moment where I was walking, calling him, posting my posters, and there was nobody on the street, nothing. It was supposed to be cold, and I didn't feel the cold. I felt like the atmospheric pressure was no, like zero, nothing. No cold, no wind, no warm, nothing. And there, you're entering a zone. You're entering a zone, and you're entering another dimension. My cat, for me, is a triggering element. You probably have other situations that have triggered you, but that moment showed me, and that I asked, actually, show me, what do I need to do? What's happening? And I think it's actually the evening that I had a very interesting channeling experience about my cat who is somewhere in the fifth dimension doing whatever it has to do, and teaching stuff to his mama while he's doing his thing in the fifth dimension. So you know that too. So there's many elements. Again, time going faster, slower than usual, you feeling very lightheaded, and you feel like everybody's doing their stuff and you're like, what is happening? I'm not there, I don't understand. And people like may talk to you and you don't respond. Yes, it can be a headache, or it can be you can be, fatigued. But if you normally feel that you're okay physically, you're shifting onto another dimension. And the other one, so as I said, yeah, like your reality, you go somewhere, there's nobody. Like my wonderful friend Sebastian even talked about an example where he went out. He lives in Montreal, so it's a busy town. He went out on a Thursday night, and where he was going should have been packed, meaning not finding parking, having a lineup. It should have been complicated. But because he was floating in another dimension based on whatever he had done this day, everything happened instantly. Parking right in front of the place, no lineup, everything flew so well that even people were looking at him like, wow, you're different. You different in a certain, I mean, we don't know what that person thought, but I know, because I have thought that of people. You feel magnetized when people who are vibrating in 5D, even for a minute, an hour, when you are in their presence, you're magnetized by them. You're hypnotized by them. You feel like you could just float into their energy forever. So that's how you know you're in 5D. When that happens, again, take advantage of experiencing a higher vibration when your eyes are open, when you're in the physical movement. And because when we channel together, or when you channel on your own, you take yourself higher anyways, but it's a little bit less common when you do that in the everyday life. And also, if ever there's another way for you to understand that you are in a higher dimension, it's when you go somewhere and the colors are vibrant, the colors are, the sounds are clear. You have a feeling you hear everything at once, the birds, the dog, the person, and like you feel that your brain can assimilate everything. It's like, and the colors are vibrant and it's beautiful. You're in the fifth dimension. You know that. So this is important for me to remind you. Look, you see, I spent an hour talking about that, and I did not even talk about the actual energies. Natasha says, yes, I have that often. So it means this is an incursion in fifth dimension. So if that happens, again, everything I told you, if you sense that something in your reality is altered and you feel like you're floating and things are flowing different and people don't seem the same, just if you can take a break and ask, channel, ask to see something, try to alter something in your reality, make things come to you, just like really manifest. It's the ideal thing. Yeah. Before I will have to condense the next thing, but I will talk about it in the masterclass. I call it the masterclass. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that word, but it is an activation. It will happen again Wednesday, December 7th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and in the UK, it will be 10 p.m. It is a paying masterclass, but it is a $33 masterclass, and you will have two options. I don't know if I can post it here, but you have it even in the description. So you can just get the masterclass, and I will post the link tomorrow how to register. And you will have 48 hours to watch the masterclass. until it diffuses itself into the ethers, because I want to do things that really resonate with the actual energies, because I know that past a week or two, the energies will shift onto another level. Okay. It's true that your energy will always match whatever you watch, but it's even faster than what we can do at this point. So I need to keep up with the energies. Now, if you are already in my membership, you have access to this. It's free. It's totally free. It's included, I should say. Now, if you just want the masterclass, or thinking that maybe I could try the membership is over 50 activations that are helping you as a light worker to align yourself with your soul purpose. It's all activations. And if you have been part of the my programs, if you have been part of my mentoring programs, it's different. My membership is aligned with the actual energy. So twice a month, you have 2 activations that are really matching the actual energies. So they help you move ahead. Okay. So if you're already in the membership, you will have this next Wednesday. Now, if you're not in the membership, you can get the masterclass alone at $33, or you may decide to join the membership at $33, and you will get the activation / masterclass plus all the other activations. And you have such a choice. You have like really the choice of strengthening your connection with your higher self, work with parallel lives, work with your star team. And again, it's different than whatever you get in my Abundant Lightworker curriculum course. It's totally different. So you already have a link in the description to enter the membership. It's $33 a month. You already have 50 activations plus and 2 more every month. And every month I choose randomly 1 or 2 people to receive a personal activation, meaning I connect to your higher self, we connect to your higher self, and we just update whatever you need to know. So that happens every month. And again, if you don't want to be in the membership, it's all fine, but it's the same price. So think about it, $33. So it is in the description if you want to register right now. But if you just want the masterclass, the link will come tomorrow. Yes, very quickly. Let me see your questions or comments. Higher self told me new timeline. Yes, complete past project. Okay. Yes, Natasha, that's what it means. A new timeline is when you're entering a new timeline, you're different. You know something has been upgraded. It doesn't mean you're going to keep that timeline for a long time. I mean, personally, I change timeline pretty much every week and sometimes more. And even that, my higher self told me that I was not on the most accelerated one, the one I can work with. It's true, they're pushing us a little bit up there around, because there's a lot of work to do. So it's not again to hurt you. It's not again to rush you. It's just to tell you, look, you're taking your time. We hear that. But the world needs you as a light worker in order to share your magic. Please, please, please do all the healing work you need in order for you to feel empowered with your mission. And if you don't do it, you will be invited to do it. Paul says, this morning my head filled with spirit. Oh yeah, I read that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see this. Does being in different dimension cause head feel a bit nauseous or make third eye feel pressure? Yeah, it could be. This is a very unique experience, but every time you change dimension, your body is adapting. So yes, you can feel that physically something is happening. But if it's a gentle, beautiful, interdimensional travel, usually it's totally fine. But when you enter another zone, another dimension in your everyday life, you will bring some kind of knowledge. That's why it is important for you to ask, okay, I feel I'm in another dimension right now. What is happening? Why do I need to be there? Please download, please show, tell me. And the more you ask, the more you stop to ask, the more you are able to understand what's happening, and you will integrate this. It will require time. So will you get a headache at the same time? Possible, but normally it's once you're out of the fifth dimension and you received all the information you are supposed to receive, and your body needs to integrate. There's an unlimited ways to upgrade yourself. And if I say no, it should not be giving you a headache. Well, if you stayed a little bit longer than planned in fifth dimension, while walking in the third dimension, your body will probably, after a while, feel a little bit tired. Because that's what is happening when people are talking about DNA activation, DNA upgrade. In the end, they're just saying your body is slowly being upgraded so it can match the fifth dimension where we're all headed. So it takes a while. It really takes a while. I hope you guys are going to join this masterclass because it's going to be amazing. I really want to make it available. Again, you don't have to join the membership, but honestly, the membership, it's of course a recurrent same amount, $33 every month, but you can cancel anytime. You could even cancel after the first month, but at least you would have the masterclass available for as long as you are in the membership, plus all the other ones that are accessible all the time. The masterclass will, if you just take the masterclass / activation, you will only have 48 hours, but it's worth it. It is worth it. You will keep so much from it. It's not something that you need to replay. You play it once and that's it. But if ever you cannot be there at the time of the actual live experience, at least you will have time to replay it as needed. And chances are I will choose randomly a person to get a personal channeling experience. I always do that. I'm just checking if I have other questions. Yeah, somebody wanted me to talk about the actual energies. I'll do it very quickly, but you will hear about that a lot more in the masterclass / activation. Right now, a lot of things are happening in Gaia. I rarely channel the Galactic Confederation. Actually, they don't like when we use that term. It has been used by one channeler and people used it over and over. It's not bad. It's just we need to find words to describe what's happening around us with our galactic friends. But I know for me, they're always telling me, oh yeah, you guys give us that name, but we're way more than that. And I get it. So usually I don't really channel them. And even if I channel energetic updates, I really go above. I connect with higher beings, higher vibrational beings. But maybe one day I'll tell you everything that happened since 2 weeks ago. It's just like massive, massive, massive. But we started to channel, we did it twice. Channeling the Galactic Confederation. The first time they told us, get ready, there's going to be an intervention. So what is the Galactic Confederation? I will give you my vision of this, because in the end, depending on the channeler, they'll see something different based on their mission. And that's also another thing, everything you see, everything you work with is based on your mission. If you're not ready to channel something, even though it's available, you'll never channel it. I guess they wanted me to channel. They wanted us, because I was with my friend Sebastian. So they wanted us to see this. But they were just telling us that there's going to be more of a galactic intervention, but intervention not like we're going to interfere, but like it's as if they're waiting for us, the light workers, whomever, like all the people who are really focusing on the change right now, changes, and everyone who's working on up-leveling our experience here on Earth, and you're part of that, they're just going to help each one of us and help the collective we're creating. So it's as if instead of observing and only observing, every time they feel we're ready as a group or individually, they're just going to align some energies. I don't know how it works, and I won't share everything right now they told us because it's massive. But yesterday evening, there has been a massive upgrade energetically. And depending if you were tuning into it, either you woke up, if you were sleeping, either you felt like I need to stop, something is happening, either you felt you were jumping onto another dimension as expressed, feeling the symptoms I expressed a little bit earlier, or you felt that something was different. So if you were kind of tuning into it, you could have done what we did, which is, oh, we feel something is different, let's channel. And when you channel, when those things are happening, you see everything. You see everything they're doing. We were taken into a spaceship. We were taken into another dimension, and then they were showing us how they were going into the ocean and working with Gaia. It's like, it's sci-fi. It's really sci-fi, but it is happening. It's not energies. I work a lot, and usually I keep that for myself, but they told me that right now I need to share a little bit more of what is happening in the background, because things are shifting so much that people will want some explanations than just more the light beings are helping us, or Gaia is shifting. They want us to know. So some humans are really galactic beings who have specific missions. Chances are you may be one of them, but some are working in the science field, some are working in the military field, believe it or not, to change the way we just live our lives here on the planet. So so yesterday there was an upgrade, a complete upgrade, but it was some kind of intervention. It's not something we could see in our eyes, unless maybe some people do, but unless you were meant to see it. Yeah, Melinda says, yeah, you recommend this. I think you were talking about the membership. Yeah, thank you for this. I have received info about Earth effects on the galaxies, and why they're trying so hard to help us speed the evolution, Melinda. Yes, you're not probably right. You're right. You're totally right about that. And again, some people may ask, and I will stop with this. Some people may ask, how come I don't see that? I mean, for me, yesterday was a very peaceful day. I didn't feel anything. It doesn't matter. It's still happening in the background. The fact that you may not have felt it, because sometimes there are upgrades and I don't feel them, it's because it's not relevant for your growth. You're on a timeline right now where all you need to do is to work the way you work with your people. You're perfectly at the right place. If you are starting to see our galactic friends showing you the background, or the backstage, I should say, the backstage of the energy shifts, that includes galactic friends and humans and energies, the light, the dark, and everything, and how you can impact that change, then you are meant to see it in a way that maybe you will feel activated by it, so to take actions. So I cannot talk more about that, even though I had so many things to tell you. Yeah, we're at a point where we can open vortexes, and I know I will include that in the near future in my membership. It's not something that I can teach to my one-on-one clients, because when I work with them one-on-one, it's really to help them find their own way and grow and understand their own trajectory. But once you know that, you're still susceptible to external energies, and it doesn't mean that because you master your intuitive powers and you're clear about your mission, that you will understand everything that happens energetically. So that's why I have those two containers: one to support you individually, like what I call mentoring, and that membership. And again, that membership is $33 a month. It's cheaper. I think you save like $100 if you go per year. You have so many activations that can help you navigate through the energies, and we're all at a different level. So going back to the previous activations will answer your needs. There, I think, over 50 activations, but you will also get 2 new ones per month, which includes one activation or 2 sometimes per month, like individual activations, which means 1 or 2 members, depending on the time and the energies. And I just follow my flow that at least one of you per month will receive a personal message, a personal higher self connection for you to understand where you're at, why you're at this level, and what's your ideal next step. So we're opening vortexes, and I know that that's what I will be meant to teach you in the next months: how to change timelines, how to change yourself from one timeline to another, how to create the reality you want, how to really manipulate the visions, the energies. We're there. Once you have developed your intuitive powers and you kind of sense how to use them, even though you'll get upgrades every time, it's time to play with energies that are coming from the 5th dimension. And coming from the what comes from the 5th dimension is timeline travel. It's interdimensional travel. It's manifestation. It's all this. But it's not just channeling it. It's feeling it. It's seeing it. It's all feeling it in your everyday life. That is the next level of empowerment for rising light workers. Again, if you are an awakening light worker and you don't know too much what your mission is, you're not too sure about your powers, I would definitely recommend, if you want to work with me, I'm not offering group programs right now unless it's in the membership container, but I still do offer a one-on-one mentoring, and that's what we would do. We would see what are your blocks, strengthen the connection with your higher self. Remember, your higher self has created your soul and your experience here on earth. So it is crucial. We're clearing all your blocks. It is important for you to enter this new 5D with clear emotions. This is what I'm going through right now. They're pushing me to clear fears of abandonment, of being alone, of leaving things behind. That is what they're making me work on really massively. Every day I'm dealing with this, and they used my cat in order to teach me the lesson. I'm okay. I can connect to my cat in other ways, but doesn't mean I don't want him back. But that's another story. But this is where we're at right now. So once you have reached a certain level of mastery in the way you express and share your gifts with the world, the next step is to really interact with the 5th dimension more regularly, and not only when your eyes are closed and you're channeling. Hydro just went out. So electricity just went out for Melinda. Got to go. Yeah, no worries. I'll see you later. So you see, we have been there a little bit longer than usual. I hope you can join us in the masterclass, whether you decide to just go with the masterclass on Wednesday or the masterclass and the membership, which will incorporate like way more activations that you can just go through during the month, or if you want to stay a bit longer, through many months. But again, we have 2 new ones every month. So that is amazing. I will let you go for now. You can already join the membership. The link is in the description. It's $30 per month. You choose monthly payments, yearly payments, and you save over $100. If you don't want the membership and just want the activation, it will happen next Wednesday. And as of tomorrow, does it work? Yeah. Starting tomorrow, I will share the link for the masterclass only. All right. But I hope to see you there, because we're going to talk we're going to talk a little bit of what we talked today, but we will feel it. It will be all channeled. So you understand how to timeline travel, shift, and interdimensional jump, and just experience this from a really energetic point of view. So I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't been there as often lately because I was busy, but that's why I'm a little bit longer. And it is important for me to tell you what is happening in my life, because I know that you're probably experiencing something similar, maybe in a different way, but it's important for you to hear what's happening. All right, beautiful ones. I hope to see you very soon. I should be coming live soon. Because of the masterclass, there won't be any weekly gathering next Tuesday. Everything will be in the masterclass. The masterclass will last probably an hour and a half. And again, if you cannot make it live, you can either watch it anytime you want if you're in the membership, or you'll have 48 hours to replay it, because we want to activate you. I don't want you to just get the masterclass and say, oh, I'll listen to it in January. No. Now is now. If you're motivated to take it, it's because you need to be activated now. All right, beautiful ones. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Natalie, Melinda. Paul was there. Who was there? Willow was there. Giselle was there. Thank you, everyone. See you very soon. Bye-bye for now.